The Oklahoma Sooners cap off their weekend with yet another talented addition to their 2023 class. Yesterday, getting in 4 or 5-star athlete Trayon Webb, who I believe is absolutely going to finish as a 5-star 24/7 Sports themselves, have him listed as a 5-star. He looks to project to the next level as a running back. The Sooners add him yesterday, but today, as the eyes of the college football world were watching Malachi Nelson make his decision, it was ultimately the Oklahoma Sooners that landed the top 5 player, the number 2 quarterback in the class of 2023, and the number 1 player out of California, and we have got to break it down. But before we do, as always, y'all know the drill. I want to hear from y'all. Hop down to the comments, give me a Y for yes or an N for no. Are you excited that the Sooners land Nelson? And let me know what you're thinking. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, hit that bell notification, because I do constant college football content, and you don't want to miss any of it. And if you enjoy that content, be sure to like and comment down below, because those interactions are massive to content creators, such as myself. But with all of that being said, let's talk about the Sooners 2023 class, because just Friday, it went from having nobody, then to Saturday, having one of the top playmakers in all of the nation, Trayon Webb, and then to today, having one of the most coveted prospects of recent memory. And I don't say that lightly. In fact, if we look where Malachi Nelson stacks up amongst other quarterback prospects for the Oklahoma Sooners, he ranks as the second highest quarterback prospect for the Sooners of all time, only behind Rhett Bomar, and is the highest rated quarterback prospect of the Lincoln Riley era, edging out Caleb Williams. And speaking of Caleb Williams, as I always talk about with my Crimson Tide, iron sharpens iron, and that quarterback room for the Sooners is unbelievably loaded, because there will be a time on campus where you're going to have 2 quarterbacks that were top 10 players in the nation, both in that room, both working to make each other better, and that is going to be the best case scenario for all parties involved. But let's talk about Malachi Nelson specifically, because this is a really, really talented kid, standing 6'3", 180 pounds, already going into his junior year. A great frame to be able to add weight on, and he's a very athletic kid. He's a mobile guy, but he doesn't use his mobility to necessarily spring the run. In fact, he uses that mobility to spring passing lanes. He's able to keep his eyes downfield, keep making reads, keep making progressions, and make the correct throw. That is such a coveted quality in quarterbacks nowadays. I mean, if you look at the top quarterback prospects in the nation right now, both in college and coming out of high school, that is such a coveted quality in a lot of these top guys. The ability to be able to make something happen when the play breaks down. And it doesn't necessarily mean you have to run the football like a running back. It just means that when the play breaks down, you're able to make something happen, and that's exactly what Malachi Nelson can do. And he's already this advanced going into his junior year. So with another year in his junior year, and then another year in his senior year, you can use your imagination as to how good this kid's going to be. He's only going to keep getting better, keep getting more defined, more technical prowess to his game, and I'm very excited to see where he is when he ultimately ends up on the Oklahoma Sooners campus. But the other thing about Malachi Nelson that is so intriguing is we've known for quite some time that he wanted to commit sooner rather than later to wherever he was going to play his collegiate ball at. The reason is because he wants to A, get familiarity with the coaching staff and understand what's expected of him, but B, and if you are a Sooners fan, this is one that's going to excite you, he wants to be able to recruit for his class. And when you already look at an individual such as Trayon Webb, who's in this class, and now you have Malachi Nelson, there's a long way to go before we get to the class of 2023, but you have to like where you are right now, with these 2 guys already being adamant and cognizant that they can use their platforms and their talent to get other guys on board. And in fact, if we just look at 24/7 Sports under the class of 2023, we can see the number 1 wide receiver in the nation, Brandon Ennis, has a crystal ball to the Oklahoma Sooners, and you can bet your bottom dollar that the Oklahoma Sooners getting in the commitment of the talented top 5 player in the nation, number 2 quarterback Malachi Nelson, is only going to help Ennis's decision. That is such a desirable thing if you're a top level wide receiver, to look at it and see that your class, or the class that you may end up in, has a top level quarterback that's going to be able to get you the ball, is going to be something that is of interest to wide receivers in the 23 cycle. But it's not just going to be the 23 cycle. I mean, this right here is something that will excite prospects in the 22 cycle. This will excite prospects in the 23 cycle, and even trickle down further than that. The Oklahoma Sooners Sooners have got to love how they close out this weekend, because not only do they strengthen their 22 class, getting in a very talented kicker and a very talented tight end, but they also kick off their 23 class in absolute incredible fashion with one of the top playmakers in all of the nation, Trayon Webb, and then doubling down in the same weekend and getting top 10 player in all of high school football, the number 1 player in the state of California, the number 2 quarterback in the nation, Malachi Nelson. What a weekend for the Sooners. Very excited to see how Malachi Nelson continues to progress through his high school career, and he's a name that we're going to be keeping up with. Hop down to the comments, let me know what you're thinking. That's it. See ya.